Hello, it's now the 10th of February and I'm just about to start taking my first batch of cuttings. There's only going to be a few, possibly a dozen or so. A lot of the tubers still haven't started producing any cutting material, but the first few have. But I've left a lot of them to grow on just a little bit further than I would normally, just to show you what happens with some of the early cuttings. Some of the early shoots go ever so thick, ever so early. So things like this, they're of no use whatsoever. They're just that little bit too thick, and what you'll find is when you cut them down near to the bottom, I'll cut that one, you'll notice that the stem is hollow, and that is pretty useless for cutting material. You can get them to root, but there's be plenty more coming, and it's far too early yet, really. So, like I say, that can be discarded. But when you get them a bit, when you get them coming from further down, you'll find that they'll be the ones that come up and will be much better cutting material. You really want them without a hollow stem, and they'll come. There'll be plenty of them. So it's just a case of cutting back the big growth as low down to as near to the tuber as you can, right down at the base of where it comes out from, and then you'll get a nice batch of fresh, usually thinner cuttings, and they'll be the ones that you want to take your cutting material from. If you're growing for exhibition, really you want to be looking at taking your cuttings towards the beginning of April, and they're the ones that you'd be looking to root by the end of April and then planted out towards the end of May, beginning of June. Here's another one that's far too big. This one's Tahi Ruby, and if I cut that down, you'll again see, just wipe that off, that is a hollow stem, so of no use whatsoever. But then you'll get some, not all varieties do it, but some do. But then you'll get a variety like this one over the back here, which is Marston George, and there's some nice cutting material on there, and they'll have a nice, they won't be a hollow stem, some nice little material there. So I'll take some of those. They'll take about a month to root this time of year, but they'll be fine. Again, I've got some more here. This is Gwyneth. So I've let them get away just so that I can show you how they do go hollow. I'll take that one off there. And again, that one's just got a hollow centre. So again, of no use, but you cut them down low. I'll trim that off, and from the break you'll get a lot more new cuttings. So from down here, that'll produce more shoots, and they won't have a hollow centre. And that's what you're looking for from your cuttings. So don't worry if you get some of these big thick ones. Like I say, certainly early on, some varieties are more susceptible than others. I mean, this one here, this is the new one that's been kindly named after me, called Blighton Everest, and the first cutting has come up, and that's far too thick, so I'll trim that off low down. And again, you'll see the hollow centre, and very difficult to root them. And like I say, at this early start of the season, there's no rush at all, so we'll get rid of that one. And but then you get ones like these, you see, which are quite thin, and they'll be good for cutting material. So not a problem. Yeah, don't worry about it if you get thick stems on the early cuttings, because they'll still come again, and that's what you'll be looking for later on in the season. Okay, bye bye.